see a Fisher House, and when ours is built, I will walk you through it. You will be fascinated and amazed and truly, truly touched. I'm here tonight to answer any questions. God bless you and God bless America.
Thank you. And speaking as somebody who has already visited one of the homes up in West Palm, they are amazing. So stop me and I'll be glad to tell you what we saw as well. Now I'd like to introduce a very good friend of mine who he's running for Congress for Congressional District 23. That's not why he's here. 22? He's somewhere he's running. Actually, Allen West just returned from his second tour in Afghanistan, and I asked him to be here tonight to talk about the importance of the family to the soldiers as they're overseas. So, welcome, Allen West.
Thank you so much, Ginger, for allowing me to be here with you on this very, very momentous occasion and a special night. And if you could just give me your attention, I just want to bring up a couple of points for you. You know, for a society to be sustained, it takes two groups of people. It takes a group of people that teaches that society. Because a society that does not advance mentally and intellectually will fail. But it also takes a different type of people. And it takes a type of people that are willing to defend that society. Now, there are those like Sheriff Lamberti and our other first responders for our internal defense. But then there are those who take a creed and an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It is those who live by these three simple words: duty, honor, and country. And if you stop and think about right now what's going on, there's some young men and women who are rucking up, and they're climbing those mountains over in Afghanistan. There's some young men and women who are having their convoy briefing before they load up, and they head out on a patrol somewhere in Iraq. And they do that so that we can be here right now and enjoying the tea and the crumpets and the wine and all the nice fashions and all the great things that we have right here. They do that because they understand this thing called service to something that is greater than themselves. But having been a 22-year veteran and having been married for most of that time, I can tell you there's another group that gets forgotten. And if you study the ancient history of Sparta, and you study the strength of the Spartan women, the family that are left behind, that are always making sure that the home front is taken care of, because they live by something else, and that's called sacrifice. When my wife said goodbye to me to go off to Desert Shield, Desert Storm, when my wife said goodbye to me when I went off and spent a year patrolling on the DMZ in 1995, when my wife said goodbye to me in 2003 to go to Iraq, when my wife said goodbye to me several times during the 2.5 years I spent in Afghanistan. And each and every time, I knew that she was going to keep the home fires taken care of. She was going to keep our 2 young daughters taken care of. Fisher House is all about taking care of those people that make that sacrifice. The people that we oftentimes do not think about. The ones that are back there keeping the home fires burning. Those women of Sparta who make sure that the warriors don't have to worry about what's going on back at home. And what I want to ask you this night, because those people, and I know we have some athletes here, but I got to tell you, men, ladies, the greatest thing to come out of this nation are the men and the women who live by duty, honor, and country. Because they afford us the opportunity to have all the things we have. Unless we never forget that, I ask that you will find it within yourselves to be a part of something that's greater than yourselves and give to this Fisher House. Because having been a combat leader several times, I can tell you this is a great program. for families to be able to go and be with their loved ones no matter where they are in the United States at a hospital facility, and be able to be there with them and to encourage them, to let them know that they can achieve and they can get better and they can get back into the fight. There's a great story about a Special Forces warrior who was a double amputee, who after his rehabilitation, he did not take a retirement. He put his rucksack back on. He has several different prosthetic devices, and he went right back into the fight. That's the commitment of the men and women that we have in this country. So if you can, find the commitment within yourselves and just give a little bit to make sure that we give to those who enable us to have this society in this great country called the United States of America, and to the families who sacrifice. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. God bless you all. God bless those warriors, and God bless these United States of America.